Once the Wapiti, named by the Shawnee, spread across the continent. They live now in the fastness of the shining mountains, up where ravens fly among the clouds. And Laramy Sasquatch Miller has led his pack string to the peaks to set up his autumn elk camp. From here, Laramy strikes out on the trail, longbow in hand. Laramy's calling may have been too good, because this bull has come in so close that Laramy can't raise his bow without spooking it. This old pony don't seem to have a hankering to cooperate with Sasquatch in getting dressed in its pack saddle. This hay burner still ain't content. On this expedition, Laramy's brought a partner to help with the loading and to share the hunt.
There's one essential thing when you're packing a horse like this, especially a young horse. You want to make sure you get that as tight as you possibly can. Because if you have any slack in it, you get about 10 minutes down the trail and that slack's going to come out somewhere and you're going to have one heck of a horse wreck.
A stout pack horse can carry a balanced load of 200 pounds a truck, if it's tied on proper. The possibles carried by the mountain men in the hunt for fur were not limited to steel traps. Gathering pelts needed all manner of essentials, and all of them could not be brought in a parfleche with the ridge runner on his trek to the Rockies and Sierras. One of the secrets of survival for the mountain man was the elk. There's enough victuals here on 4 hooves to last the winter for a man with a mighty hunger for meat. And the rest of the bull went into hides for shirts and thread from the sinews to sew them with. Antlers made fine knife handles and even buttons. All of it to keep a man warm inside and out over a long winter in the snows. Up before the moon's down, Sasquatch is readying for a long hunt, making sure his canteen and himself are watered for the day ahead.
Look right there. I heard a bull bugling from camp. That's where he was bugling from. You can see he tore up the ground all over the place, wallowed around in a little bit, probably peed. I sure hope he decides to come do it again today, because he might get an old mountain man meat stick thrown through him. If you look right here, this is a perfect little spot. It's kind of open. You got this big north-facing hillside where the elk are more than likely bedding down. I'm gonna sit right here and call a little bit, and then when the wind switches, I'll be able to head up the canyon.
From wrangling horses to packing loads, Laramy Miller is heading into the mountains, where he's on the trail of elk for his winter's meat, longbow in hand, ready to bugle a bull in. Sasquatch keeps a weather eye on the sky to see if a storm will catch him out in the open. The rain will corral the elk into the timber, and the top of the mountain sure ain't the best place to be when it's thundering and lightning. The hike down the mountain wreaked its own havoc on Sasquatch.
Well, it's been an eventful couple days up here in the mountains. Coming down the mountain, I broke my bow. Then I ripped my pants open. Thank goodness I got little buddy with me, and it ain't like I can just run to town and get another bow, so I'm just gonna have to commandeer his bow, and I haven't shot a compound for a while, but I'm gonna give her heck anyway.
Even the best handmade don't always make it through, and Laramy comes from a long line of expert craftsmen.
Well, I'm here at my grandpa's. I'm gonna go inside and see what kind of goodies we can't construct.
Boots aren't all Sasquatch's grandpa cobbles.
Well, if you look right here, this is the makings of a Sasquatch Bowie knife. I've got my big 12-inch Bowie knife blade. Actually, it's 10-inch. I like to exaggerate, you know, us old mountain boys. And then I got this elk horn. And what I did is I split the elk horn right down the middle, about a ½ an inch from the end. That way I could shove the tip of my knife, the handle part, down in there. I've got holes so that I can put 2 pins in it. Now I'm gonna epoxy all this. I'm gonna take some of that sawdust and I'm gonna mix it with the epoxy, and then I'm gonna fill in all these holes. That way you won't ever even know. It'll look like one solid horn, and that right there is a skinner if I ever seen one. Won't be that good for skinning, but if old grizzly bear decides he wants to take a bite out of me, he's gonna be hurting.
It's a hard thing to look at, and now it means that Laramy's gonna have to shoot one of those newfangled contraptions rigged like a block and tackle.
There you go. Well, I got little buddy's bow sighted in out to 50. That should do me. It's not optimum, but I don't get a hunt with my longbow, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
It takes strong pack horses and hours on the trail to reach elk country. Angry storms pushed Laramy and his partner off the mountain and cost him his longbow. Now he's switching over to an infernal device called a compound.
and I'm in some desperate need of some camping food to eat real good. Maybe next time. He needs to grow up anyway.
The elk trails carry Laramy and his buddy for miles through the black timber and by the wallows as they listen for the bugle of a bull.
Hey Matt, there's a big game trail right there. How about you keep down here and just cow call for 30 seconds and then stop. I'm gonna get up here so if something comes down that game trail, I can get a shot.
Laramy's buddy moves down the trail to set up and cow call, creating a greater sense of realism for any bull who catches the sound.
It's a real nice little spot. It's starting to get real thick and there's a nice bench here. I guarantee there's some elk bedded somewhere along this bench, so I just had Matt get down below me and about 30 yards behind me so that hopefully if there's any bulls bedded there, he can push them and bring them right in front of me so I can get a good shot. I don't have my old longbow, but compound's gonna have to do for today.
You can call them weapons, but for the mountain man, they were simply the tools of his trade. All of it was a kit that served its purpose. A hatchet was a fine and useful tool, as was a well-made knife, though both could be more in a bind. The prize tool of every mountain man was his rifle, and the finest was the one made by the brothers Hawken. It wasn't the first in the mountains, just the best, and about as fine as frog's hair for buffalo and old Ephraim. The Indian, though, stayed with his bow and was meant to be the way for a true warrior to hunt. Laramy Miller, packing into the mountains with his friend to hunt elk for his winter's meat, has faced forces of nature and a shattered bow. Now he's hunting on with a compound. They're climbing on the elk trails into bull territory to reach the right habitat where they can draw the elk out of their beds. Like other elk on this hunt, this one slips away into the tangled cover before Laramy can take a shot. A twist of fate, with weather rolling in to make the medicine even harder to swallow.
Well, if you can't tell, it's raining like crazy. It's been raining for almost 24 hours. Our luck ain't getting any better. A day and a half ago, slipped, broke my bow. Now this happens. I've been able to elk hunt 2 days and got into good elk, but the way it's raining, the way the wind's swirling, better off to sit right here by the campfire. At least we got hot coffee.
A full day hobbled up in camp is more than a hunter like Laramy and his buddy can stand. So, rain or no rain, they're going to head back up the mountain into the bedding areas of the elk. In these tangled woods, it's still up to the bull elk to step into the place where Laramy can get a shot. But if it does, Laramy'll be ready. Laramy marks the path the wounded bull takes so he can follow up and find it. Cloudburst could wash out any blood trail, so Laramy needs to be tracking. Laramy's arrow, though, makes it a short track.
All morning we've been chasing elk, had a couple of different bulls bugling, called one bull in. He was smart, he'd been called to a bunch. He circled way around and put the sneak on him, shot him about 30 yards. He ran 20, fell over dead. I mean, you can't beat it. We got elk back straps tonight and a lot of work in front of me.
Someone described elk as hard work disguised as hunting, as Laramy's about to demonstrate. Too steep and muddy for the horses. Getting this elk out means Laramy's climbing on Shank's mare.
Elk hunting ain't for sissies.
Now it's the turn of the four-legged horses to go to work. The load tarped and the diamond hitch thrown, it's time for Laramy to ride on to the next chapter in a mountain man's autumn.